Hi, I'm Stephanie. Thank you for watching today. Today is for all of the moms out there with ADHD who are desperately just wanting to get it all done. If that is you, stay tuned. I'm going to share 5 different productivity hacks that are going to make your life so much easier, guaranteed. My first tip for you today is to buy a planner and put your entire life on it. You want to have your work schedule, your kids' activities, appointments, everything that you can think of should go into your planner. You know, time and relationship to time is really a thing for ADHD. It's going to help you to be able to see your weeks laid out. I prefer a weekly view. My planner looks like this. It has spaces for block scheduling. I have in the past, though, used a planner that had all of the different times of the day with the lines drawn, like for scheduling. I find that to be very helpful as well. Whatever works for you is fine. Just make sure it's not just a monthly calendar. You need at least a weekly view. With ADHD, if it's not written down, it's going to be forgotten. If it's out of sight, it's out of mind. And so this is going to help you to have everything visually in front of you. A hard copy, not just a copy in your phone. If you want to set things in your phone, that's great, but make sure that this is your actual master planner. I'm right now using the Happy Planner. I'll see if I can find a link for it in the description. There's a couple of other planners I've used in the past as well. If I find any of those, I'll link them as well. Number 2, work with a timer. This is everything. The way that I use the timer the most is when I have something that I need to do and I'm feeling distracted. I will set the timer, and while that timer is ticking, the only thing I'm doing is the task at hand. I'm not checking my phone. I'm not running to the bathroom. I'm not eating a snack. I am doing whatever I set out to do, and that is all that I'm doing. And so it's just a burst of uninterrupted time to complete a task, and it really does work. I highly recommend it. I use timers for everything. And I find for myself, it's hard for me to determine how long something's gonna take. I'm not good at that. My husband is great at it. He has a realistic perception of time. I'll sometimes tell him the things that are on my to-do list, and he'll say, Stephanie, there's no way. That's not humanly possible. And I'm thinking, yeah, sure it is. Of course, we can get it all done. But that is the ADHD brain. You know, we have a bad relationship with time. Tip number 3 is to keep a to-do list. I highly recommend having a to-do list every single day. The best way to do it is to just make the list the night before. If you make a to-do list before you go to bed, you're gonna rest better, you're gonna go to bed with less stress and less overwhelm, and you will already have your plan mapped out for the next day. However, if you forget the night before, that's okay. Don't just give up on it completely. It is normal to forget. Instead, first thing in the morning, set a timer for 5 minutes and make your to-do list for the day. It's so important that you start off your day with a to-do list. This is going to help you to focus. I know for me, it just gives me clarity on what I need to get done that day. A good rule of thumb is 5 to 7 items, no more than that. Another tip about your to-do list is to keep a long-term to-do list as well. You know, sometimes when I sit down to make my to-do list, I have way more than 5 things that need to get done, but they don't all absolutely have to get done that day. So I'll have just the most pertinent things on my list for that day, but I keep a long-term to-do list in my planner as well. So I like to pick 3 to 6 things that I need to get done on top of like getting dressed in my morning routine. Sometimes only 3, depending, you know, how long those things take. The thing is, I don't want to forget all the other things that I need to do as well. So I'll make my list for that day, and then I keep a sticky note in my planner that has sort of my long-term things to do. And so I use my long-term list to make my daily list. As I'm working through my daily list, as things pop up that need to get done, I will either write it onto my long-term list, or I'll write it to my next day's to-do list. If something needs to be turned in for the kids, or if my husband needs me to do something, I have a list that I can put it on. And it's really a big deal. It makes my productivity go up. It makes me prioritize and get done with the things that really must be done that day or must be done that week. Number 4, routines. I cannot stress this enough. Create some routines in your life. It's going to make life so much easier. Having some sort of routine in my life really makes me able to put things on autopilot and not have to exert so much energy to get certain things done. So for me, some of my routines that I like to do are a 10-minute cleanup before I leave the house in the morning. Another routine routine that I've been doing lately that has been working really well for me is while coffee's brewing, I drink a glass of water and I start unloading the dishwasher. And so I'm just starting my day off with a little bit of productivity. It gives me a jump start. Your routine might be to get all your dishes done, sink clean, dishwasher empty, all of that right before you go to bed every night. That is a great routine if that works for you. You know, think about the things that you need to do and how you can implement it into it every single day, day in, day out routine where your brain is not having to work so hard to get it done. It's just part of your daily habits. I also like to have just a general morning routine, you know, just what I do every day whenever I get up. I have a whole video on my morning routine. I will make sure to link that in the description here. Do not establish 20 new routines tomorrow. It's really best to just work on 1 or 2 things at a time, make that a habit, and then work on what's next. And if you don't want to forget with all the things that you're wanting to do, just make a list and put it in your planner to revisit later, but just work on 1 or 2 things at a time. Don't forget to reward yourself. If you stick to your new routine for a week, create a simple reward for yourself, whether that's taking a bubble bath or doing something that you don't normally get to do, or buying a new shirt, or whatever it is for you, taking some self-care time, whatever's realistic for your whatever stage of life that you're in. But reward yourself if you keep your routine for a week. You know, it's really good. Once you've done that several weeks in a row, you'll really have a new habit going. And if you miss the boat in your routine, which I mean, I have pretty severe ADHD, so those things happen to me quite a bit. It's kind of like ups and downs, peaks and valleys with my disciplines. And you know what? Don't be hard on yourself. It's okay. Like, just recommit and try again the next day. You know, we have to give ourselves grace, especially as moms, especially if you're taking care of the kids all day and you've got all that on your plate, or if you're working outside the home and you have to come home and rush to do everything. You know, whatever boat you're in, whatever season of motherhood you're in, just give yourself grace. My biggest motto is progress, not perfection. If you get caught up in perfection, you're absolutely going to fail at all these things. So just focus on progress, just making 1 or 2 things better today. My last productivity hack for you is to take your chore or task or whatever thing that you're doing and combine it with something that you enjoy, something that's auditory, something like a podcast or music. If you do YouTube, I would put it on your phone and put the screen down so you're not watching anything. Your eyes need to be focused on what you're doing, but your ears can be listening to something enjoyable that's entertaining, and it's going to make that chore much less mundane. What you don't want to do is combine your chore with something visual. The 2 worst things that you can do to your productivity for the day is start with the TV on or get on social media. What I'm talking about is combining something with your task that's going to help you get through the task with more enjoyment and get through it faster, and something that's not going to distract you, something that's actually going to help you. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up and don't forget to hit subscribe. I am going to link to you a video of my motivation morning routine if you are looking for a morning routine that is going to help keep you motivated. Thanks again for watching. Till next time.